The Hateful Eight. So yes, yeah, we've both seen this movie. The reason why, I don't know, you might have watched it for the show. I can't think of as to why, but you might have watched it for the show. But we definitely watched this in theaters because we watched it on a double feature day. We watched this first, and then we watched The Wind Rises.
Hateful Eight. Sorry, I'm just looking it up.
Cowboys.
Oh, I'm sorry. When I said I watched that for the show, I was thinking of a different movie.
Django, probably.
No, I think I was thinking of I think I was mixing it up with that one where it's the actor, the director who's trying to make the movie and it's got like seven psychopaths.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. This is not that.
I think
But
is
you've
what I
also
was
seen this
thinking of.
movie, because yeah, we watched it. We watched it was double feature at Colossus.
Yeah, I'm reading the description of this, and yeah, that it sounds familiar,
Yeah,
but
I can't believe we did that. I can't believe we watched this movie and then proceeded to watch The Wind Rises, which is also boring. Like I cannot believe that because
we didn't even do it for content.
no, okay, yeah, this is the Hateful Eight. There we go. That's where the trailer's gonna go.
Now what make a man brave a blizzard and kill in cold blood? I'm sure I don't know. You'd be surprised what a man would do. Starting to see pictures, ain't you? Got room for one more?
I ain't too anxious to be handing out rides.
Real trusting fella, huh?
Not so much. Ain't no way I'm spending a couple of nights under a roof with somebody I don't know who they are. So who are you? Okay, everybody, hear this.
I need a spot. I've learned I need a spot for the trailer. That's where the trailer is gonna go. Fuck, I hate this movie, man. I remember the first time I watched it, I was in my like I'm a film snob phase. Even though arguably,
I would argue you're even worse into that now
I'm
than
worse
you
than
were
it
then.
now. But like I was so determined to defend my love of Quentin Tarantino that I was like insistent this is a good movie for years. I remember defending this movie in conversation with you being like, this movie fucking sucks, and me being like, no, 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 but you don't understand, it's actually
You
good.
did the nuance of it all. You just don't get it. You're a plebe,
The
Jordan.
number one
I'm a
thing
snob.
is like, oh no, all of Quentin Tarantino's movies are brilliant, especially this one. And I remember you said that this movie would be so much better if it was a stage play. Like the fact that it's a movie is
That sounds surprisingly nuanced for
well,
me.
because the first 30, and I'll never forget it. I remember
Especially back then.
the first 30 minutes of it are them in like a wagon. At first, they introduce it's Kurt Russell and Samuel Jackson. Kurt Russell has a captive, and then eventually Walton Goggins gets added to the mix, and it's 30 minutes. And I remember like 15 minutes into it, getting up to go to the bathroom, and then coming back, and they were still on a fucking wagon, and you were like, yeah, if this was two actors on stage, this would be brilliant. But because it's a movie and you kind of want them to do something, it's so boring. It's
Yeah, I mean,
boring.
it's the
It's
same.
agonizingly boring. It's monologue. Like there's so many monologues where Samuel Jackson just reiterates the point 3 or 4 times, where he just says this is like, yes, you just said that. You just said that. Sorry, you were gonna say something.
I was gonna say for me it's the same as like I can't remember the name of the movie, but the one where it's Ryan Reynolds in a box where it's like
Yeah, yeah, Barry. Yeah,
because nothing happens on screen visually, it makes it a very boring and tiresome movie for me.
yeah, yeah. It's not really.
For 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 me, audience, okay, I know you all love that movie,
Do they?
but I don't know. For years, I remember you and I hating it and everybody getting up in arms about it.
Well, I've got a few people on my at the time who got I would I guess describe as up in arms, but there's a lot of people who hated that movie though. I like it now, but like this movie, It's just like, yeah, it's like so
Still,
many.
I still maintain that movie. Sorry, this is off point, but I still maintain that movie would be a better book on tape or book than a
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, but yeah, this one, it's like, yeah, this, it's just a lot of like, yeah, if this were on stage and there were like 3 or 4 actors on stage and there were loose set dressings, like, yeah, this would be probably more engaging, because there's just so much of like actors acting and just saying real. And I get that it's Tarantino and Tarantino is about dialogue, and I looked into it. I'm like, whoever edited this movie is a hack, because scenes go on for a fucking eternity. So I was like, oh, surely Tarantino edited this movie himself.
Wow, that was aggressive.
Because it's terrible. So many of these scenes go on for a fucking eternity. Where it's like, bro, learn to cut stuff. Like, cut. And I'm like, is it because he's Tarantino and you're too chicken shit to be like, hey, Quentin, man, maybe you could cut this scene by like 5 minutes so it doesn't go. This movie could be 30 minutes shorter and you would lose nothing. You could still include, like, there's good shit in it. I mean, a great deal of it is just Kurt Russell punching a woman in the face for some reason. Like, for some reason, the direction that Quentin Tarantino gave Kurt Russell was just be John Wayne. Just do John Wayne. John Wayne was a massive prick. Just do John Wayne. And so that's what he does. He does John Wayne. But yeah, there's a weird moment where Samuel Jackson tells his story, which you're not sure if it's true or not, about how he orally sexually assaulted the one guy's son. And it's from that point in time where you kind of gotta, the movie, I should say, takes place in that point in time where you gotta remember, like, not everyone would know how people look. Like, I always have to remind myself of that, where it's like, back in cowboy times, you don't have television, so you don't know what people look like.
And photos were very rare and expensive.
Exactly. So yeah, you just kind of had to go on like what you heard people look like,
visual description. Yeah.
But like, it's not to say there isn't stuff in this I like. Like, there's a lot of it's Quentin Tarantino movie, so there's always stuff that makes me laugh. Like, there's a funny bit where Samuel Jackson has a letter from Abraham Lincoln that he carries around because he's black in the
yes. I understand.
And he carries it around to show that he's cool, basically. And you find out later on that letter is fake, that he forged it. And he's like, I had to. It basically disarms you guys and tells you that I'm cool. And Samuel Jackson, he's got a lot of pretty funny moments in this. He's pretty good. A lot of the monologues are awful. Like, they're just so, and yeah, characters say the N-word too much. Like, it's just,
I mean, sure, but that's Tarantino.
Yeah, I know. It's just a weird quirk he has.
It's kind of just what he's known for. I think he just really likes saying the word.
He likes having an excuse to say the N-word. Like, in any context. Like, I just really want characters to say the N-word, please. Can they just please say? But man, it's too long.
Why do they have a word that I can't say? I'm gonna find excuses to say it.
I'm gonna give all of my white characters an excuse to say it just repeatedly. Also, randomly, like, also the movie thinks you're stupid. Like, there's scenes randomly where there's just, despite for the hour and a half leading up to it, there not being a narrator, there's now a narrator. So like, there's a bit. Like, there's this, like, fucking, I don't know, it's like, other than describe it, like, Clue-esque bit later on, where the whole plot of this is basically that Kurt Russell is he's the hangman, and anyone he takes in gets hanged, whereas every other person takes the people in dead or alive.
No, hung.
Hung, yeah. And so he's taking this woman in to get hung. No, I think it's technically hanged, but anyway, they take... he's taking her in.
Depends. If it's the present case, then it's hanged. If it's the past case, then it would be hung.
Because they say you're to be hanged by you're to be.
Yeah.
Hanged
Okay. Yeah. Hanged would be present. So yes, that makes sense.
But anyway, so they wind up at
hung comes into effect where then you say she was hung until death.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But anyway, they wind up at this haberdashery, and the whole movie takes place there. Whole thing takes place in this way. It's a single location movie.
That's a funny word. Haberdashery.
Haberdashery. And you find out later on in the movie, there's this extended flashback sequence. Where it shows that, what's his name? Oh my god, Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum is there, and he's the brother of the woman that Kurt Russell has, and he shoots Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell winds up dead because the coffee gets poisoned, and Samuel Jackson gets shot in the dick, and then it cuts, and then the narrator cuts. And the thing about Quentin Tarantino movies is they're all told by chapter. And so it cuts, and then the next chapter is, and there's a narrator that's like, oh, well, all this was happening. Little Daisy May was watching. She saw someone poison the coffee, and there's now a narrator who just explains everything to you and spoon feeds you what's happening instead of just letting you see that she saw that someone poisoned the coffee and having a bit of nuance. Or Quentin Tarantino has himself, because it's Quentin Tarantino doing the narrating, narrate it in like it's like he's like doing it. If you've ever seen a table read, like you've seen clips of a table read, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's doing a table read and he's doing the stage direction. So the narrator is not written in organically, it's shoved in, and it's just spoon feeding you what is happening without an ounce of nuance. And it's awful. It sucks. I was like,
I mean,
surely
I don't
this is his worst movie, right?
I don't really remember. And here, let's just put it this way: I don't really remember anything about that movie.
Fuck, it's so boring. It's long,
but I
and
just
it's boring.
Which to me just really says that Tarantino's better cowboy style movie was Django Unchained, because that movie is just fucking amazing.
I went, this is his worst movie, right? Like, yeah, there's so many contemporary. I remember when we weren't, but I remember saying when I saw it when it came out that it was too long and I hated it, and it would be significant. It would be a significantly better movie if it were 30 minutes shorter, which you could absolutely fucking do. You could cut this movie down by 30 minutes easy, then it'd be a better movie. If it was like 205, it would be a way better movie, and I would probably like this better. But it's so long and so far, and I hated it. I fucking hated it. And I went, surely this is Tarantino's worst movie. And I Googled it, and I went, is this Tarantino's worst movie? And Google consensus yields no, his worst movie is Death Proof. So
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it, but I know of it because it's part of. We're gonna come back to this later today, in fact, but it's part of a double feature that they put in the theater. It's called Grindhouse, and he did. I believe he did Death Proof, and Robert Rodriguez did Planet Terror, and it was one thing. You went, you watched it. You watched both movies, and it was a double feature. And I regret, because I worked at the theater when it was in theaters, and I regret not watching it. But apparently that's his worst movie, which yields me to, or not yields, but which leads me to, I should say, we're going to pick a director next season when we come back. And I'm going to do Quentin Tarantino. Because I need to watch that. And there's only 2 Quentin Tarantino movies I haven't seen yet, and that's Jackie Brown and Planet Terror. Not Planet Terror, Death Proof. So, I'm going to pick a director, and I'm going to do Quentin Tarantino. But I was like, but I already have the next 3 episodes booked, so it's going to have to wait till we get back. And after Japan. So, yeah, that is the Hateful Eight, and I fucking hated it.
All right. So, you would say that the Hateful Eight filled you with hate.
I was very hateful by the end of it, yeah. I was like, oh, it was an absolute fucking slog.
Hey there everybody, it's NCAR Justin here. Let me know down in the comments, do you agree with me? Is The Hateful Eight Tarantino's worst film, or is it Death Proof? I haven't actually seen Death Proof yet, that's on my list. But anyway, regardless, let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. But in the meantime, if you'd like to see the full podcast that this is from, our Pick a Letter D versus H episode, you click the box on the left. If you want to just see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out 7 days a week. Or you can just leave this video a like. That helps us out too. We'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.